afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast news section here with me, your host and Pearl Dane, your only trusted and sanctioned source of Communist 2 news. We've got an update here to the balance preview. This is version 1.1. So what sort of epic and spectacular changes can we expect here? Well, let's have a look. Heavy tanks, Pershing, KV-2, RS-2, and Tiger. CPU requirements from 11 to 12, and they've reverted the previous tech requirements from version 1.0, meaning we're basically almost back to square one. The only difference is they now cost 1 command point less than before we began all of this, but otherwise, effectively, nothing changes. People will still go for 2 anti-tank guns installed into heavy tank. It just feels like we're going in circles because they keep refusing to admit there's a problem with anti-tank guns. Like, at some point, they're going to have to admit anti-tank guns are a bit too good, because when the basic strategy for a lot of places, go to anti-tank guns, install into a big heavy tank, because A, you can't really, in most cases, deal with heavy anti-tank gun spam sufficiently fast enough. And 2, because heavy tanks are really one of the few, again, reliable counters to it. So, it's basically entirely circular bit with the British. Well, let's move on. We actually got some changes for the Wehrmacht for the time being. Tech changes. Sentiment suggests that Osttier Tier 4 is too prohibitive to use. In order to facilitate an easier transition for Osttier Tier 3 to Tier 4 builds, we have implemented the following. Battle Phase Tech 2 tech from 90 fuel to 105 fuel. Battle Phase 3 tech from 25 fuel to 35. Support Armor Core Tier 3 no longer has a fuel cost. Heavy Panzer Core Tier 4 building no longer has a fuel cost. Well, why they're not both buildings? XP values have been adjusted accordingly. Credit to Derby Hat, aka Jibber Jabber, for originally proposing this change. So, again, circular changes. We've been here before, and they've done nothing. The problem is not getting to Tier 4. The problem is when you get there. Like, that's the problem. They keep assuming the problem is, oh man, it's really tough getting to Tier 4. No, it isn't. The problem is, once you're there, it's just not very good. Like, that's the problem. Wehrmacht Tier 4 is this hyped up thing. It's like, Disneyland, except it's, awful. Mickey Mouse is this, drooling vampire, and Goofy's a zombie that eats the brains of the kids. Like, it's just not very good, and it's too damn expensive. Like, it's not transition that's a problem. It's once you make the transition, you're there, and you're just like, wow, this is nothing like advertised. I mean, again, it's like with the, the heavy armor changes. They're basically just moving around the core issue, which is, it's not very good. Like, let's compare with the Americans. They get free units as they take up. They don't have to spend units to build up. They just press a button, get free stuff, and there you go. Plus, they only got 3 tiers. The Soviets get upgrades now to a conscript that make them much better. The Brits have like hammer, although they're not very good, and I feel like they need to improve that. But still, there's something there. Wehrmacht, meanwhile, is basically stuck with Activision and have to pay for the privilege of paying even more for subpar stuff. Like, it's damn well Call of Duty Modern Warfare, remastered DLC all over again. In a tier, I mean, Wehrmacht Tier 4 is pretty much just emblematic of AAA gaming at this point. It's just hyped up nonsense that leads nowhere. I mean, that's the problem. It just leads nowhere. Where's the improvements of Wehrmacht's infantry? Like, it needs it. It's supposed to be the late game faction, but by the late game, Wehrmacht infantry just explodes and isn't easily replaced. And there is nothing there to replace it. I mean, as I keep stating, Wehrmacht in Companies 2 is basically just a stripped-down version of Wehrmacht in Companies 1, which functioned because it had, things to compensate for the weaknesses, Wehrmacht Companies 2 had. Like, you got medic bunkers, purchase veterancy, Knights crossholders, and all that. What do you have here? None of it. In fact, the Allies get more improvements than infantry as the game goes on, whereas the Wehrmacht gets, I don't know, hopes and wishes, I suppose? Or thoughts and prayers. I suppose would be more the common terminology nowadays. Thoughts and prayers. It's like, really, this is just utterly circular. And again, we've been here this road before. They've done it repeatedly, and it doesn't become more attractive because, again, it's not getting there that's the problem. It's when you're there, it's basically hot air. And part of it, obviously part of the solution could probably be fixed just again by simply again making anti-tank guns less amazing, because part of the problem is you get a Panther out, 2 anti-tank guns are waiting, you got no Panther. So, part of it could be fixed by, making anti-tank guns less, ultra amazing, but I think part of the issue is also just like there needs to be more benefits to going for Tier 4, because again, the issue is, again, it's this hyped up thing, and then you get there, and it turns out Disneyland is just, a crack den, basically. an opium den. But you get the idea. It's hot air, and making it cheap unless it's like entirely free and the Panther's half the price. I mean, sure, at that point, but then, you know, there might be bigger issues in terms of balancing down the road. So yeah, I feel like this fixes another thing. Grenadiers, they reduce the reinforced cost, which means, you know, once you know, got your 15th reinforcement, it's free. Meaning, most of the time, it's not going to make a difference, I think. Like, I mean, we've seen what Grenadiers spam strategy goes for, and again, like, it's not what they're supposed to reinforce. They're supposed to make machine guns better and all the other stuff. And this, yeah, this is just cosmetic changes. I mean, it's going to be, if you spam Grenadiers, it may feel less awful, but like, most people are not complaining at this point that Grenadiers, you know, too expensive cost. They're complaining that it's, you know, too weak, and this doesn't make them stronger. And again, the issue isn't they shouldn't be stronger. The issue is the machine gun should be better at working with the Grenadiers, which it isn't. Pack 40, horizontal tank speed from 12 to 14. I guess that's nice. Sturmpanzer gets 20 more armor. Might give it a slightly increased chance of bouncing some anti-tank shots. But again, up against anti-tank guns, it's still going to struggle to like deal with them. Like, again, there's just no reliable Wehrmacht counter to anti-tank gun spam in Tier 4. Which again, is notably more expensive to get to than the other faction. Requires more effort and time. And that's also what none of this fixes. It's the fact that it's not just, you know, the cost you have to put into it, it's the time and the effort. Again, the other allies increase, you just have to press a button. They get it. You have to like hold back pioneers and build it, and after taking up this, it's just so much more intensive, and just again, this just feels like they're just going in circles without really wanting to deal with the actual. It's procrastination made balance wise. Panzerfaust, all rounds including Oberkorn West, they reduce the projectile speed to try and, you know, fix it missing targets. I guess we'll see how that works out. Brits, the HQ glider becomes cheaper. You now have to research the fort retreat point and the medics. 550 man, but that's quite the nerf actually. I guess that's fair. Recon running the officer, cheap, more expensive. Now, of course, you can get it right away. Soviets, ZIS and HU6 barrages. Now, that's a big one actually. This change puts the barrage from the SIS-3 weapon in line with other direct fire weapons and more to the street penalties with striking units in heavy cover. It basically doesn't do full damage, which was kind of extreme because, I mean, the thing is, the SIS gun is actually ridiculously accurate. Like, you can just snipe support weapons repeatedly. I've seen that happen a lot of time. They could do it from heavy cover. Like, this fixes part of the issue, but I still feel like this is also partly just answering around. The SIS gun is probably right now the best anti-tank, and again, almost on the same list as the Pack 40 in terms of anti-tank performance, but it's 6-man, doubles as artillery. Like, again, they keep dancing around, but at least this is something. This is something. At least partly it's not quite as ridiculously good versus units in heavy cover, so that's something, but, you know. Then we got airborne weapon crate drop. Price from 45 to 60. Okay, dubs. What? Is this Fortnite? Relic! We're not Fortnite. Stop that. Please. No. Bad Relic. Grenade deflection damage removed. Yeah, sure, fine. Not sure why that had to be there. So, yeah. Also some minor bug fixes. But yeah, again, they're making progress, I suppose, but it just feels like, again, we're going in circles. They're making the attempt, but as always, it feels like they're just afraid of directly handling the issue, which, again, is increasingly, I feel like, just centered to a good degree around anti-tank guns overperforming and Wehrmacht Tier 4 just being garbage. Like, again, it needs more. It needs something for the infantry as well. Otherwise, Wehrmacht Tier 4 will always be bad, because, again, Wehrmacht Tier 4 has made weakness wall to the infantry, and again supposed to be slightly compensated with that through better infantry or infantry bonuses in the late game, and they're just not there. So as long as this keeps going on, I mean, you're still going to get like 37 to 38% win rates, like, you know, tournaments for the Wehrmacht. I mean, maybe they'll not be up like 39, 40%, but it's still going to be like below 50 by quite a bit, and it's still going to be, you know, vastly underplayed compared to the Oberkommando West, as apparently it's now called the OK Derbs. Fortnite, yeehaw! So yeah, I guess we're making progress, but again, it's the circular kind of progress. The kind of we go, hang on, Lawrence, haven't we already been here before? Yes, we have, and it turned out to do absolutely nothing at all. So yeah, circular movements, I suppose it's better than no movement at all, but yeah, we're just going in circles. But at least we're going, at least we're going. So that's sort of it here. Hopefully the next patch will actually provide some, you know, more straightforward movement rather than just circular movements. But again, it really feels like Relic at this point just needs to deal with anti-tank guns rather than, you know, being absolutely terrified of nerfing them, because it honestly feels like we're just, you know, waiting for them to just, you know, man up or woman up or whatever, fortify their souls or whatever, just commend themselves to the emperor, I don't know, but just, you know, grab the bull by the horns and chuck that elephant out of the china shop and just fucking effing whatever, fix the anti-tank guns, because really it just feels like those anti-tank guns are what needs to be sorted out to a large degree. So that's sort of it here for now. As always, if you like what I do, you can donate or subscribe, pledge, whatever. Links in the description there, of course. And of course, remember to press the bell button. This has been Pro Cheers, and see you all another time.